Welcome back, everyone. Today we're unpacking something absolutely massive, the Faceless channel blueprint. We're zeroing in on exactly how beginners can master AI script and voice generation to build a seriously profitable channel from scratch. You know, if you've ever felt like, man, I'd love to create content, but I just hate being on camera, or writing scripts sounds like a total nightmare, well, you are in the right place. Because honestly, those barriers are literally a thing of the past. Okay, let's dive right into this.
12 grand, $12,000. According to our source analysis, that is the estimated monthly revenue brought in by a single, completely faceless English learning channel. And get this, here is the absolute kicker. This channel racked up 4 million monthly views with the creator working, wait for it, maybe 1 hour a day. I mean, talk about hyper-efficient monetization. It's just wild.
Now, I can already hear some of you saying, yeah, right, I could never actually pull that off. Well, listen to this quote straight from our source material. You don't need to know English perfectly, you don't need a camera, and you don't need to write. That just hits the nail right on the head. It perfectly captures the magic of this specific niche. By leveraging modern AI tools, the old traditional roadblocks have completely vanished. You are no longer the on-camera talent. You are literally the director of your own team of AI assistants.
So how do we actually pull this off? The whole digital publishing blueprint really boils down to 4 macro steps. First up, script generation. Second, voice generation. Third, editing. And fourth, thumbnail design. In today's explainer, we are going to hyper-focus on mastering those first 2 absolutely crucial steps, scripting and voice generation. Because honestly, once you nail those 2 down, the rest of it's just simple packaging.
Here is our roadmap for the explainer today. We'll start with the Faceless channel blueprint, move into training your AI assistant, then crafting the perfect script, generating realistic AI voices, and finally, bringing the audio together. Let's get right to it.
Section 1. The Faceless channel blueprint, deconstructing Mr. English. To really grasp why this blueprint is such a game changer, we have to compare a traditional explainer format to this new Faceless one. Normally, doing it the traditional way, you'd need a high-end camera, you're messing with complicated lighting setups, and you usually have to be this super charismatic, flawless native speaker. It's exhausting, not to mention expensive. But the Faceless explainer, it is brilliantly simple. What do you actually need? Literally just one static image, some simple text captions running across the screen, and AI-generated audio. That's the whole shebang. It is incredibly cheap to produce, super efficient, and as we saw with that 12K figure earlier, incredibly easy to monetize.
Section 2. Training your AI assistant, the content gap strategy.
Look, the absolute biggest rookie mistake is just opening up ChatGPT and typing, write a script. If you do that, it's going to sound super robotic. Unless you actually want your audience to feel like they're listening to a 1990s GPS system, we need a better plan. Here is the step-by-step process you should use instead. First, go find a top competitor channel in your exact niche. Then, pull 3 distinct transcripts from them. Grab their latest, their most popular, and their oldest. Why those 3 specifically? Because doing that feeds the AI the complete evolutionary DNA of that channel's success over time. You dump that raw text into ChatGPT and tell it to analyze the tone, the storyline structure, and the word count. You're basically teaching the AI the exact rhythm of a proven winning explainer. This is how you execute the content gap strategy. You're lifting their proven framework, but leaving plenty of room to plug in your own unique topics.
And this brings us to a massive, absolutely crucial concept, prompt engineering. It's defined as the practice of designing and refining highly specific inputs given to an AI tool to generate customized, high-quality outputs. Let me tell you, this single skill right here, this is what separates a channel making $0 from one pulling in 12 grand a month. You aren't just casually chatting with a bot. You are engineering a highly specific set of instructions based on hard, proven data.
Section 3. Crafting the perfect script, generating the dialogue.
Check out the stark difference here. If you use a basic, untrained prompt like write an English learning script, you get this dry, incredibly boring output that absolutely no one is going to watch. But a trained prompt, that takes everything to a completely different level. You say something like, based on the 3 analyzed scripts, generate a universal prompt matching this exact tone and format. Boom! We are explicitly asking the AI to build us a reusable plug-and-play template that perfectly mimics our competitor's success. It completely solves the whole script creation puzzle in one move.
So once you've secured that universal prompt, all you need are the actual topics. You can literally just ask ChatGPT to fire off a list of highly relatable ideas. We're talking things like restaurant English, going to the shopping mall, or navigating an airport. For this explainer, let's select that last one. Travel English in 10 situations. That'll cover real-life scenarios like grabbing a taxi, checking into a hotel, or dealing with an emergency. It's super practical, people search for it constantly, and it feeds perfectly into our brand new engineered prompt.
Actually, scratch that. We aren't totally done yet. When you generate that very first script, it usually tops out around 1,150 words. And honestly, that is just a bit too short if you want to optimize for watch time and ad revenue. But fixing it is a breeze. You just refine the prompt. Tell the AI, increase length to 2,000 to 3,000 words. The AI will instantly expand it, perfectly maintaining that engaging tone you just established, but padding out the content so it hits that highly profitable 10 to 15-minute sweet spot.
Section 4. Generating realistic AI voices. Welcome to 11 Labs.
Okay, so the script is written, now we actually have to bring it to life using AI voice tools. And let me tell you, if you want to keep viewers hooked, a single, droning, monotone voice just will not cut it. You absolutely need a dynamic, dual-host role-play setup. Think of it kind of like a tennis match. You've got host 1, let's call him Chris, who takes on the role of asking all the questions, with this vibe of an excited, curious learner. Then on the other side of the net, you have host 2, Sarah. She's the one providing the answers with the vibe of a smiling, patient expert. Establishing this two-person dynamic in your AI voice studio completely transforms the final audio. It takes it from feeling like a boring university lecture to a lively, engaging conversation.
Let's actually look at how this plays out in the text itself. Picture reading this excerpt straight out of our generated script and imagine it with a super exaggerated, enthusiastic tone. Imagine this. You land in a new country. You need a taxi, a hotel, food, and maybe even help in an emergency. You would assign that exact line to Chris's eager AI voice. Why? Because it instantly hooks the listener with a highly relatable problem, and it sets the stage perfectly for Sarah to swoop in calmly and offer the solution. Section 5. Bringing the audio together. Sequencing the role play.
Generating those individual voice clips is a piece of cake, but sequencing the role play? That's where the real magic happens. Think of your audio timeline like building blocks. Block 1 is Chris setting up the problem for us. Block 2 is Sarah stepping in with her reassurances and the solutions. Block 3 bounces back to Chris for a follow-up question. And Block 4 is Sarah running a quick mini-quiz. You just alternate these dialogue blocks back and forth, weaving them together to simulate this totally seamless, flowing conversation. That dynamic back and forth is exactly what keeps your audience actively learning and completely glued to the screen.
Once that audio track is sequenced and ready to go, the final packaging is seriously a walk in the park. First, you just export that finished audio into a basic editor, something like CapCut. Snip out any awkward dead space. Then you generate a clean, relevant background image using an AI tool like Whisk or even ChatGPT, and you just drag that static image so it stretches across your entire audio track. Finally, hit the button to auto-generate your text captions, and that's it. In 4 straightforward steps, you've got a polished, fully monetizable explainer that is totally ready to be published.
So we've seen how the content gap strategy trains the AI to write a rock-solid script, right? And we've seen how setting up a dual-host dynamic brings that exact text to life, which really just leaves us with one final big question. If AI can seamlessly write the script and voice the dialogue for you, what is stopping you from publishing your very first digital creation today? Seriously, the tools are right there, the blueprint is totally proven, and the barrier to entry has quite literally never been lower. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, guys, and I absolutely cannot wait to see what you go out and create.